Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the helpful like Akim pushing this word with truth and sincerity. And shalom to the multitude of believers, the Akim Wa'akwat listening and learning. This is the brother Karatha of Men of Valor Las Vegas camp, coming back with another lesson. Lord willing, it'll be edifying. The title of this one will be Desperation Will Lead to Chaos. You know, the elites have that that phrase, all right, or that agenda to create order out of chaos, which the saying is order ab chaos. Okay, and we're seeing that, play out as this war continues on, even though it's really just, started. But we're seeing how the effects of it and the chain reactions are are affecting the people, and pretty much are about to affect the people and hit them hard here in Babylon the Great, aka America. So I'm going to start here in Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." Okay. All right. The soul which is not upright in him is speaking of the wicked, all right, who is currently in rulership of this world, all right, which that is America, all right, the whore that rideth the beast, which is NATO and EU, all right, and the wicked ruleth the world, all right, and that is Esau, Edom. We're coming to the end of his age, all right. So they're bringing upon us, great miseries and hardship. All right, well, they fatten their pockets. You had that information come out days before they attacked, Iran. Donald Trump's son invested and made I believe it was a few billion in a matter of days off of oil. I think it was like 3 billion or something like that. I could be wrong. I don't have the information pulled up right now, but it was something to that effect. It was either 3 billion or 30 million. I can't remember. But in days, But the just shall live by faith. So no matter what, is going on, all right, in terms of prophecy, which the Lord has gave us the secrets, and that warning ahead of time to prepare ourselves for these times. All right. That which is seen isn't the end all be all. We have deliverance from a greater power. We have our weapons of warfare are not carnal. And we trust and fully believe that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to deliver us from any and every situation if we be a part of that elect. Lord willing, we do. Okay. And, with looming, with that Strait of Hormuz situation, all right, Iran has opened it up to other nations, but they said pretty much everybody except for the U.S. and Israel can use it, all right. And I believe a prepper I was watching said about 2 weeks to 30 days can see the full effect which will look about of that $200 a barrel price, which that's going to be about $8 to $12. And all these, that creates a chain reaction to inflation, the food supply chain, all right, which ultimately affects the inhabitants, all right, the people that dwell in this place. This is Jeremiah 30:7. It says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." All right. Speaking of Israel, speaking of the elect of Israel is going to be saved out of a time that is not like any other. All right. And the things, coming down the pipeline, point to this time. This is something the world has never seen before. This is exactly how the Most High has preordained this to be and to go. All right, now these devils have something called order at chaos, which is order out of chaos. Okay. So some things they do is, ultimately, I'll say this, that it's all playing out in prophecy, which means that the Lord is in control of everything. That's why you should have faith that even though you must, endure this time, and we are going to go through the thick of it, so to speak, that Yahweh Shem Shai, said this latter part in the verse, and that's where the faith comes in. Okay, but it doesn't stop that these devils is at work. Okay, and it says this in Revelation 12:12. "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." All right. And he has been speaking of and already put into law that draft, which he's going to send. As he said, many Americans will die, fighting for their country, for the benefit, which they think that this place ain't going to go down. But the Third World War will end. Babylon the Great, aka America. And Babylon won't be healed. All right, but because this devil knows his age, his world is ending, he's going to come down with great wrath. It's going to get worse and worse for the inhabitants of the earth, primarily, even though it's going to affect the whole world. You Americans, you Babylonians got something you ain't never thought could happen. As many of our people, the majority of our people, are here in Babylon the Great. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 14 in the GNT. It says, "The world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring destruction is very near, and this is that war. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control." And that's going to be that civil conflict here in Babylon the Great, that civil war. It says while ignoring the legitimate government. Okay. And one thing that this, battle going on in the Middle East, which I just seen a clip that there was a lot of lives lost, I believe, the other night. Speaking of American soldiers, but an interesting fact was that since this war began, the research, I believe an elder posted it, but the Google search popularity of those, Epstein files has went down. Okay, it says there will no longer be free access to the cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. So that is the chaos that this place is going to see, all, led by that error that proceeds from the ruler, that great wrath that this devil has been pushing forth. This is going to be 2nd Esdras 15 and 16 in the KJV. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and their course of their action shall stand in their power." Okay. So the people think that they have a voice here in Babylon the Great. Well, when they find out they don't, hey, it's going to be sedition. Okay. It's going to be riots, lawlessness. This is Matthew 24 and verse 12. And as we're seeing all these, which could be false flag, events, but this week we've had a synagogue hit, MASS, pew pew, I believe at a college, and I think that was in Michigan, so on and so forth. In very prophetic times, end time signs. It says here in Matthew 24 and 12, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." Let me grab this in the AMP. "Because lawlessness is increased." Okay. The love of most people will go cold. And what does that lawlessness stem from? It stems from the king, the officer. Let's get that real quick. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 2, it says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man, ruler of the city, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but the prudence of them which are in authority of the city shall be inhabited." Okay, so we are in the presence of an unwise king, a cruel leader. And that trickles down to the people who, abide in this lawlessness, abide in that upright, that, that adverse spirit contrary to Yahweh Shema Shai. What does it say? Because iniquity shall abound. Iniquity is sin. Doesn't it say that in Amos, the 9th chapter, that the Most High has his eyes on a sinful kingdom? Yeah, behold, the eyes of Yahweh are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord, that he shall be saved out of it. And that's, again, speaking about the elect in these times. 2/3 of Americans, or it's like, 2/3 of Israelites here on the shores of America will die by thermonuclear fire, famine, suffering. All right. That's what I want. But the elect shall be saved out of it. This is John 10:28. Start at 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. My Father, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. So the Lord has predestined salvation to an elect group, and it's time to get right. It's been time. Let's get Romans. This is just another call to repentance. Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time that is now, it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed. The night is far spent, that day is at hand. Right, the day that the Lord is preparing to destroy this place. All right, that day of Jacob's trouble, is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. We don't need that armor to, deflect all those fiery darts of the wicked, to shield us walking through these perilous times. Okay? So, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the elect.